I would like to submit for consideration and approval by the National Assembly the estimate of revenue, recurring and development expenditure of the Republic of the Gambia for the fiscal year 2025. The legal basis for today's event, that is the tabling of the 2025 budget estimates with the National Assembly, is anchored on the 1997 Constitution and the Public Finance Act 2014. According to Section 152 of the Constitution, His Excellency the President shall cause the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs to prepare and lay before the National Assembly estimates of revenue and expenditure of the Gambia before the end of each fiscal year for the following year. Furthermore, Section 21, subsections 1 to 3 of the Public Finance Act 2014 equally requires the Minister to lay before the National Assembly the appropriation bill documents, and Section 24 of the same Act specify the contents of the appropriation bill documents. Consequently, these relevant documents are now incorporated in the 2025 estimates of revenue and expenditure. It is also worth to note that, considering the foregoing, the Public Finance Act 2014 provides under Section 27 thereof for the National Assembly to appoint temporarily or permanently a core team of technical staff to assist in gathering information, making research analysis on issues pertinent to its deliberations and resolutions on the budget submitted by the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs. Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs is responsible for the overall coordination, formulation of the national budget in line with both the Constitution and the Public Finance Act 2014. Prior to its submission to the National Assembly, the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure should be considered and approved by the Cabinet. In this regard, we hereby inform this August Assembly that the Cabinet has already reviewed and cleared the draft 2025 budget. The 2025 budget is anchored on the reduction of overall fiscal deficit aimed at achieving debt sustainability and enhanced economic development by investing in human capital, infrastructure, and agriculture. For this reason, the Ministry intends to continue the drive towards the rationalization of expenditure, improving domestic resource mobilization, restructuring the debt profile to reduce the burden of debt, and focusing on concessional financing of infrastructure projects identified in the Recovery-Focused National Development Plan. Also provided is a program-based budget pilot 2025 to 2026 document demonstrating the ongoing effort to transition from the traditional line budget to program-based budget framework. The addendum provides context on the economic and policy environment shaping the proposed budget and demonstrates clear links between the ministries, department, and agencies' budget programs and the recovery-focused NDP 2023 to 2027. By aligning the budget allocations with national priorities, this shifts the emphasis from input-based budgeting to performance-based budgeting, budget-focused budgeting, and enhancing the effectiveness of decision-making. This initiative aims to drive more strategic and impactful use of public resources. Furthermore, the draft 2025 estimate seeks to support economic development through provision of quality services in agriculture, education, health, infrastructure development, and the modernization of the public administration for a more inclusive and resilient growth. Emphasis is being placed on building the human capital base through investment in education, health, support poverty spending, including the emergency relief and the ongoing investment in the infrastructure and energy. Honorable Speaker, despite the global and domestic challenges, economic growth remains relatively stable, largely due to the stabilizing macroeconomic environment, strategic investment in infrastructural projects, increased productivity in agriculture, recovery in tourism, and resilience in the remittance inflows. This economic growth is projected to continue with provisional figures estimating a growth rate of 5.8% in 2025. This will be driven by the expected stability in the macroeconomic environment and sustained growth in the productive sector in the medium term. The debt vulnerability of the economy is being addressed, and the 2025 budget is designed to continue to reduce the debt to GDP on a sustained downward trend. The debt to GDP was 85% in 2020 and declined to 83% in 2021 and further downwards to 72% in 2023. And for 2024 and 2025, this is projected to decline to 69 and 66% respectively. The downward trend reduction is a result of sustained economic growth over the period and careful management of the debt stock through prudent borrowing and enhanced domestic resource mobilization. Although there is an increasing risk from climate change, growth in the agricultural sector is expected to be boosted by the ongoing programs and priorities enshrined in the Recovery Focus NDP. The sector will also benefit from ongoing initiatives by the government, development partners, and the private sector. Meanwhile, growth in the tourism sector is expected to be supported by recovery in the global economy and the local market promotional initiatives. The government's drive to close the infrastructure deficit, coupled with sustained remittance inflows, will continue to serve as anchor for construction growth. With regards to electricity, the focus will be on improving efficiency, reducing transmission and distribution losses, and increasing domestic generation of renewable energy. On the inflation front, the sustained tight monetary policy stance has triggered moderation in inflation from 16.7% in January to 10.0% in September. The implementation of the new foreign exchange policy by the central bank, coupled with the increased foreign currency inflows, restored exchange rate stability. In the medium term, inflation is projected to decelerate further towards the central bank target of 5%. Deceleration in the rate of inflation will be sustained by moderating commodity prices, coordination of policy efforts by fiscal and monetary authorities. Similarly, the exchange rate is projected to stabilize in the medium term. This will be driven by sustained foreign exchange inflows and positive effects of the forex policy introduced by the central bank. Honorable Speaker, I would like to take this opportunity to update this August Assembly on the status of the budget execution for the first 3 quarters of 2024 and the outlook for the remaining part of the year. The overall expenditure budget execution as at end September was 84%. This can be attributable to efforts being made to achieve the net domestic borrowing targets. These measures include constraints on expenditures on goods, on use of goods and services, with the execution rate of 57% over the period. The expenditure budget execution has been particularly difficult this year to unanticipated expenditure shocks. This includes the intervention of the government to the tune of $20 million to pay NORWEC arrears with independent power producers. These payments served as tariff compensation to cushion the population from tariff increase, which would have put a heavy toll on the economic challenges on the citizens. On other expenditure pressures come from the hosting of a very successful OIC summit. The anticipated financial support for hosting of the summit was not realized, and government was obliged to bankroll the expenditures related to the summit. As at end of September 2024, revenues, including program grants, totaled 17.9 billion, exceeding the projection of 17.02 billion by 5%. Tax revenues amounted to 13.24 billion, a 3.36 increase above projection. Additionally, non-tax revenues, particularly administrative fees, reached 4.4 billion, significantly surpassing 3.53 billion target. These positive outcomes are due to the ongoing domestic resource mobilization efforts by the government, and Table 1 shows the breakdown of the revenue and program grants. The first column are the actuals, the fourth column is the second is the projections, and the year-end projections are at the end. The government expenditures are expected to be in line with the approved expenditure estimates for 2024. Accordingly, total outturn for expenditures and net lending in 2024 are projected to be about 26.52 billion. This is mostly as a result of the curtailment of certain expenditures due to reprioritization in order to absorb the unforeseen expenditures arise during the year. On the debt interest, 3.57 billion has been expended up to end of September, of which 2.91 billion or 81.5% relate to domestic interest expense. Expenditures on other charges reach 7.98 billion, of which goods and services amount to 3.74 billion, and subsidies and transfers 4.23 billion. The projected outturn for other charges for the fourth quarter 2024 is 2.29, which brings the projected year-end total to 10.37 billion. The outturn for capital expenditure to end September was 2.57 billion. Projections for the last quarter are estimated at 797 million, bringing the estimated total capital expenditure to in line with the approved budget of capital budget of 3.36 billion. Table 2 indicates the expenditure and net lending for 2024. Honorable Speaker, the 2025 budget anchors on the reduction of the debt vulnerability and investment in human capital, principally education and health, infrastructure and agriculture to support enhanced economic development. To realize this, emphasis will be on the domestic resource mobilization, supporting the compensation of the core civil service and investing in priority sectors mentioned above as in line with the recovery-focused National Development Plan. On the revenue estimates for 2025, total revenue and program grants is projected at 32.1 billion, representing an increase of 24% compared to the approved budget of 2024, which was 25.93 billion. This is as a result of significant increases in both the domestic revenue and program grants for 2025. Tax revenue is expected to increase by 23%, primarily driven by continued tax policy alignment, review of the investment code to strengthen control on tax expenditures, policy action to support tax compliance and enhance enforcement measures, and the implementation of digital solutions to improve administration. Both the corporate and personal income taxes are expected to grow due to strengthened compliance through data matching, revocation of special investment certificates of non-compliant companies, and other enforcement actions. Value-added tax will also see a boost in 2025 thanks to the ongoing audits in key sectors like telecoms and banking, planned audit in the hospitality sector, and the planned introduction of an e-VAT invoicing system, which we anticipate will reduce fraud. On non-tax revenue is expected to increase by 45% in 2025 compared to 2024, mainly due to the anticipated receipt of 3.5 billion, that's $50 million, as the payment for the second tranche of the Senegambia Bridge Asset Recycling Program. The 2025 estimates include expected budget support of 3 billion from our development partners compared to 3.18 billion in 2024. The bulk of the budget support is expected to come from the World Bank, 2.065, that's 29.5 million, European Union, 945 million dollars, which is 13.5 million euros. Emphasis should be placed on the tracking of revenue performance, particularly for the domestic revenue, in order to ensure that the annual expenditure can be implemented for effective public service delivery. Table 3 indicates the breakdown of revenues for the fiscal year 2025 compared to 2024. Honorable Speaker, please allow me to explain the proposed expenditure contained in the 2025 budget according to the broad classification of government expenditures. Total expenditure and net lending are projected to increase by 22%, rising from 26.52% in 2024 to 32.3% in 2025. It is worth noting that this figure excludes foreign and domestic amortization, which when added yield the appropriation amount of 37.84 billion. The increase in the total expenditure is driven by increases in other expenditures, which is expected to increase from 21.13 billion to 26.12 billion. This is the result of increase in projected personnel emoluments, use of goods and services, subsidies and transfers, and capital, which are expected to increase by 21%, 30%, 29%, and 11% respectively. The projected increase in personnel emoluments from the approved budgets of 7.39 for 2024 to 8.93 in 2025 is largely driven by the projected 1.54 billion impact from the proposed salary increase and the increase of transport and residential allowances. The increase in the personnel emolument is due to an average of about 30% in salaries of the core civil service. In addition, the transport and housing rent allowances will be increased from 1,500 to 3,000 and from 1,700 to 3,500. These increases in allowances will apply to grades 1 to 8 under the integrated pay scale of the civil service. Similarly, the government is proposing to increase the tax exemption threshold from 24,000 to 36,000. That means anybody earning salary of 3,000 per month will be tax exempted for the first 3,000 monthly. This 2025 salary increase will make a total salary increase of 60% from 2022 to 2025. 2022 30% and 2025 30%. And it will bring the total salary increase to 110% under the leadership of His Excellency Adama Barrow. This is a manifestation that the budget allocation of the government is people-centric with the aim of improving the lives and livelihood of Gambians. And another significant allocation is the $1 billion to the energy sector to ensure reliable supply of electricity. Debt service continues to attract the largest portion of the budget, and for 2025, 11 billion, that's about 29% of the budget, will be allocated to debt service. This is due to the commencement of the debt servicing following the end of the debt service suspension initiative, which was triggered by COVID-19 response. For goods and services expenditure, the projected increase from 5.43 billion in 2024 to 7.06 billion in 2025 is mainly due to the OIC-related expenditures, excluding vehicle travel and rents and rates and training. Nevertheless, expenditure on vehicle is expected to increase from the approved budget of 135.62 million in 2024 to 800 million in 2025 to cater for vehicle areas of 400 million related to OIC. Meanwhile, subsidies and transfers are mainly subventions projected to increase from 4.94 billion in 2024 to 6.39 billion in 2025. This increase is mainly as a result of the energy subsidy under the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, which is expected to cater for tariff compensation to NAWEC. Furthermore, increases in subvention for GRA with the anticipated higher revenue collection, hospitals, schools at MOPSI are also expected to exert pressure. Table 4 shows the movement of the approved expenditure for 2024 compared to the estimate of 2025, including the percentage movements. Overall, debt service, that is including interest payment and amortization, is projected to reach 11.01 billion in 2025 from 7.5 billion in 2024. Debt interest is projected to increase by 15% from 5.1 billion in 2024 to 5.88 billion in 2025 because of the expected 63% increase in interest payment on external debt, as well as the expected increase in interest payments as on the 30-year bond. Honorable Speaker, consistent with the objective of reducing the public debt, deficit financing for the 2025 budget deficit will be minimal. It will be financed mainly from domestic financing and external borrowing. In a sense, the gross deficit is estimated at only 198 million or 0.01% of the nominal GDP. The budget deficit is the lowest in the last 10 years, much less than even 1%, and the budget deficit of 25%, 2025 is a reduction of 67% from the 2024 levels. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, the recent macroeconomic developments are showing signs of recovering economy, and this is expected to continue in the medium term. The government is committed to making the tough decisions by consolidating ongoing reforms, particularly in domestic resource mobilization and expenditure rationalization, to restore fiscal sustainability and support broad-based growth. On this note, I hereby submit the draft estimates of revenue and expenditure for this fiscal year 2025 for the consideration and approval of the National Assembly. I submit. Thank you.